What if everything viewers thought they knew about one of reality TV's most controversial families was built on a foundation of financial deception and child neglect? Recent revelations from within the Brown family circle have exposed shocking details about how TLC money was allegedly managed, and the truth might be far more disturbing than anyone imagined. The explosive information comes from an unexpected source. Mykelti Brown Padron, daughter of Kody Brown, who has been methodically dissecting her mother's tell-all memoir on her Patreon platform. As Mykelti works through each chapter of Kody's book, she's revealing intimate family secrets that paint a devastating picture of life behind the cameras. Her commentary isn't just casual observation, it's the raw, unfiltered testimony of someone who lived through what she describes as systemic neglect, disguised as polygamous family values. The most damning revelation centers on a simple but horrifying claim. Kody Brown allegedly never spent his own sister wives' earnings on basic necessities for his children. According to Mykelti's analysis of her mother's memoir, when the Brown family signed their contract with TLC through Kody Brown Family Entertainment LLC, each adult family member was supposed to receive compensation for their on-screen work. However, the financial arrangement created a power structure that allowed Kody to control every dollar while avoiding personal financial responsibility for his children's most basic needs. Here's how the alleged scheme worked. TLC paid the production company, which then distributed money to the family members. But rather than receiving direct payment for their work, the wives had to approach Kody whenever they needed money for household expenses. Kody's memoir reveals that she never asked what the other wives were receiving. She simply told Kody how much she needed, and he would write a check. This system meant that while the women were earning money through their television appearances, they had to justify every expense to Kody, who controlled the family finances entirely. The financial control extended beyond simple budgeting. Mykelti's revelations suggest that Kody treated the family income as his personal treasury, while designating the wives' portions as allowances for child-rearing expenses. When Kody needed money for groceries, clothing, school activities, or medical expenses for her children, she was essentially asking for access to money she had already earned. Meanwhile, Kody's portion of the income was spent on luxury items for himself. The grocery revelation cuts particularly deep. According to Mykelti, her father's grocery spending was limited to purchasing steaks for UFC fight nights, and even then, he likely had the wives buy the food. This means that a man earning substantial income from a television show about his large family never personally paid for a single meal to feed his own children. Every bite of food his children consumed was purchased with money that their mothers had to request from him, despite the fact that those mothers were also working on the same television show that generated the family's income. But the financial allegations represent only the surface of a much deeper pattern of neglect. Mykelti's Patreon discussions reveal that her father's absence from family life was so complete that his children began viewing him as a stranger who occasionally appeared in their lives. The Sister Wives filming schedule should have provided Kody with ample time to be present for his family. After all, once the show began, none of the adults maintained traditional employment. Yet even when cameras weren't rolling, Kody was consistently absent from his children's lives. The most heartbreaking example involves Truly Brown's illness when she was approximately 2.5 years old. Kody had traveled out of town, leaving 18-year-old Aspen and 16-year-old Mykelti responsible for their younger siblings. When Truly became severely ill, the teenage girls were terrified and called their father for help. Despite living mere steps away in the Las Vegas cul-de-sac homes, Kody refused to come help his daughters care for their sick sister. He claimed he was busy at Robyn's house with her children. The situation deteriorated when Truly required hospitalization. Mykelti spent hours at the hospital with her little sister every day, arranging her school schedule to maximize the time she could spend providing comfort and support. But where was Truly's father during this medical crisis? According to Mykelti, she rarely saw Kody at the hospital. If he visited at all, it was either when she wasn't present or for extremely brief periods, primarily when cameras were present to document his concerned father act. This pattern of selective presence reveals a disturbing truth about Kody's relationship with his children. Mykelti has openly discussed how her father only showed up for his kids when the cameras were rolling. Between filming sessions, he was consistently absent, spending his time exclusively at Robyn's house. The children learned not to expect their father's involvement in their daily lives, emergencies, or emotional needs. The favoritism within the family became impossible to ignore. Despite Solomon being clearly identified as Kody's favorite child, Christine never told her other children that their father was absent because he preferred to spend time with Solomon and Ariella. But the children weren't blind. They could see that their father had chosen 2 children to prioritize while treating the rest as afterthoughts. This selective parenting created deep psychological wounds that persist into adulthood. Mykelti's revelations also debunk one of Kody's frequent defenses of his parenting. He often claims that he was present and involved when the children were younger, before the family dynamics became complicated. However, Mykelti contradicts this narrative entirely. She explains that even before Sister Wives began filming, her father worked out of town for most of each week, returning only on weekends. Even during his brief periods at home, children only received his attention if they were willing to participate in activities that interested him. For most of the children, their father's undivided attention was limited to a single day each year, their birthday. The psychological impact of this parenting approach cannot be overstated. When children grow up with a father who treats them as optional participants in his life, the damage runs deep. Mykelti has been brutally honest about her current relationship with her father. Reading her mother's memoir has solidified her belief that maintaining distance from Kody is the healthiest choice for her mental well-being. She acknowledges hoping that their relationship might improve someday. But the foundation of trust and respect necessary for a healthy parent-child relationship has been thoroughly destroyed. The financial revelations take on even more significance when viewed alongside this emotional neglect. While his children learn to expect nothing from their father, not his time, not his attention, not his concern during medical emergencies, Kody was simultaneously profiting from their participation in the television show that made him wealthy. The children worked as unpaid performers on Sister Wives, generating the content that funded their father's luxury lifestyle, while receiving neither fair compensation nor basic parental care in return. This raises serious questions about the ethics of family reality television and child labor protections. The Sister Wives production structure appears to have created a loophole that avoided traditional employment protections for the children appearing on screen. By paying the family as contractors rather than employees, the production may have circumvented minimum wage requirements and child labor permit obligations. The children provided content that generated substantial revenue, but they had no direct access to compensation and no legal protections ensuring their basic needs would be met from the show's profits. The luxury purchases Kody made with his Sister Wives income stand in stark contrast to his alleged refusal to spend money on his children's basic needs. Mykelti mentions that the very first check from TLC was used to purchase a Lexus convertible, a luxury car bought while his children's food, clothing, and housing expenses were categorized as their mother's financial responsibilities. Today, Kody drives an expensive Mercedes while his adult children publicly discuss the financial and emotional neglect they experienced throughout their childhoods. The housing arrangements further illustrate this disparity. While Kody lived in the largest, most expensive home with Robyn and ensured that all of Robyn's household expenses were covered, the other wives had to request money for their mortgages and household expenses. This meant that Kody's biological children in Christine's, Janelle's, and Meri's homes were living in housing that their mothers had to justify and request funding for, while Kody's stepchildren with Robyn lived in a home that he willingly and automatically supported. These revelations paint a picture of a man who used the financial structure created by reality television success to avoid the basic responsibilities of fatherhood while maintaining complete control over family resources. The wives weren't receiving charity or allowances from a generous patriarch. They were being forced to beg for access to money they had earned through their own work on the television show. The psychological manipulation inherent in this system cannot be ignored. By controlling the family finances despite the wives' equal participation in earning the television income, Kody maintained power over women who had already sacrificed traditional career opportunities and financial independence for polygamous marriage. The wives couldn't leave easily because they had no independent income sources and had to request money for basic survival needs. This financial control served as a tool of coercion that kept the family structure intact long past the point where it served anyone's best interests except Kody's. Mykelti's willingness to share these details publicly represents a significant risk for the Brown family's primary income source. Sister Wives continues to provide financial support for multiple family members, including some who may disagree with Mykelti's decision to expose these family secrets. However, Mykelti has made it clear that she believes the show's continuation prevents healing within the family. As long as Kody has a platform to present his version of events and potentially disparage his children publicly, she believes genuine reconciliation remains impossible. The timing of these revelations is particularly significant. Christine's memoir provides a detailed written record of her experiences, giving Mykelti concrete material to analyze and discuss. Rather than relying on memories that could be dismissed or disputed, Mykelti is working from her mother's carefully documented account of their family life. This approach lends credibility to her claims, while providing specific examples that viewers can evaluate for themselves. The broader implications extend beyond the Brown family to the entire reality television industry. If these allegations are accurate, they reveal how family-based reality shows can create exploitative financial structures that prioritize adult entertainment careers over children's well-being. The children on Sister Wives weren't just occasionally appearing in their parents' show, they were central to the content that made the show successful. Their daily lives, family conflicts, and personal struggles provided the drama and relatability that attracted viewers and generated advertising revenue. Yet these same children had no guaranteed access to the profits their lives generated, no legal protections ensuring their basic needs would be met, and no voice in decisions about how their childhood experiences would be packaged and sold for public consumption. The financial structure that allegedly allowed Kody to purchase luxury items while avoiding grocery bills for his children represents a fundamental failure to protect child performers' interests and well-being. The lasting damage extends far beyond childhood. Mykelti's current relationship with her father demonstrates how financial control and emotional neglect during childhood can destroy family relationships permanently. She has stated that she cannot envision repairing their relationship, while the power imbalances and public platform dynamics continue. The children who generated content for Sister Wives are now adults who must navigate the ongoing consequences of their childhood exploitation while their father continues to profit from shows that discuss their family relationships. These revelations force viewers to reconsider everything they thought they knew about the Brown family's dynamics. The polygamous lifestyle was presented as a choice based on religious conviction and family values, but the financial revelations suggest a more calculating motivation. If Kody used the wives' shared commitment to plural marriage to avoid personal financial responsibility for his children while maintaining complete control over family resources, then the religious justification becomes a convenient cover for a manipulative power structure. The children's testimonies provide the missing piece of the Sister Wives puzzle. For years, viewers watched family conflicts play out on screen without understanding the underlying financial and emotional dynamics that created those tensions. Now, as the children reach adulthood and begin sharing their perspectives, a clearer picture emerges of a family system that served one person's interests while requiring tremendous sacrifice from everyone else. Mykelti's hope that the show will eventually end so her siblings can heal reveals the ongoing impact of their childhood experiences. She recognizes that true family healing cannot occur while the exploitation continues, and while her father maintains a public platform to control the narrative about their relationships. Her courage in speaking publicly about these issues represents a significant step toward breaking the cycle of silence that enabled the alleged abuse to continue for so many years. The Sister Wives financial scandal, if proven accurate, represents more than just family drama. It's a cautionary tale about how reality television can exploit children while enriching adults, how financial control can serve as a tool of manipulation within families, and how the pursuit of fame and wealth can corrupt the most fundamental responsibilities of parenthood. As more family members find their voices and share their experiences, the true cost of the Brown family's television success becomes increasingly clear.